All right, we have now done this model additively. We're now going to do it subtractively. So I'm going to create a new part studio. This one, by the way, you can right click and rename. I'm going to just call this additive. And I misspelled it because I always put it an A there instead of an I. There we go. Additive, and I'll hit the enter key. So to start a new puzzle part, I'm going to hit the plus sign. I'm going to create a part studio. I'm going to get my 3 views on here, my 3 work planes. I'm going to click on sketch, and I use the front work plane frequently. Right click and say view normal too. Now I'm going to draw this U-shaped cube again. So I know that we are 2 cubes high, and because each one of these blocks is 3/4 of an inch cubes, this is going to be 1.5 inches tall by 2.25 inches long. So rectangle tool, I'm going to click on the origin, pull it out, I'm going to click and type in my length, 2.25. Oops. I got to turn on my numbers like that. 2.25. That worked. Okay, good. Now I'm going to bring my cursor. I'm going to hit enter there, and it puts me into this other dialog box. And I'm going to make that 0.75 times 2 is 1.5. All right. Green check box. Right click, isometric. I'll turn off the icons, and I am going to extrude this, and this is going to be a 0.75 inch extrusion, and I'm going to green check mark. So we've got all this drawn here, with the exception of the center section being taken out. So I'm going to now click on sketch. I'm going to go to this front surface and click on it, and I'm going to right click and say view normal to. And all I did there was I just took and created my sketch on the front surface of this cube. Now I'm going to zoom in so you can see this nicely. I like to work zoomed in. I don't like working on stuff like this. Matter of fact, that working on something like that cost the company I work for once a lot of money because I misdimensioned something. All right, so excuse me. Here we go. I'm going to use the rectangle tool, and I'm just going to come to this upper line, and you'll notice it turns orange, which means that it's going to be constrained to that line, which is what I want. And I'm going to pull this down the lower right corner, and as long as you start somewhere along the top of this line to the left of the middle of it and pull it down, you're fine. You'll notice all these lines are a bright blue, which means that they are not constrained yet. So to constrain this, I'm going to start putting some dimensions on. So I click on the dimension tool, and I'll zoom out so we get a little bit of room here. And to do this dimensioning, I'm going to click on this line on the left and this blue line right here. And I'm going to select, and I know that that is the length of 1 cube, which is 0.75. Now I have a choice here. I can do chain dimensioning, which is perfectly fine to do here if I want to. So my dimension tool is still going. I'm just going to click on this line and pull this down here. I'm going to put in 0.75. So now the distance from here is 0.75. From here to here is 0.75. And notice this line is black. The only one that's still blue, because it's not fully constrained yet, is this guy right here. And the constraint that needs is the length of this right here, and that's got to be 0.75 also. Okay. Now, the other way I could have dimensioned this, and I'm going to just delete this dimension, is I could have done this for my dimension. I'll start my dimension, click on this line, and go to this one right here, and that is also perfectly fine way to do this. All right, so everything is dark on here, which means that the thing is fully constrained, and you really, really want to have things fully constrained. I'm going to hit the green check box, right click, isometric. This is subtractive, so I'm going to click on the extrude, and I work from top to bottom. This is not a new thing. We're not adding anything, we're removing. So when you subtract, you remove. So I click on remove. Now it wants me to select what I want to remove, which is this cube right here. And instead of this saying blind in 1 inch, which would work for what I want to do, it is a better practice CAD-wise to click a different extrusion technique or subtraction technique. You can choose up to next, or up to face, or up to part, up to vertex, or one I probably and myself use mostly is through all. And you can see the preview changed there. Now, I just hit the green check mark, and there is my cube done subtractively. Now, just like in the very first one that we practiced together, you're going to change its material to PVC, no, ABS, sorry. You're going to change it to ABS, and you're going to change its color to whatever you'd like it to be. You can then go down here to Part Studio number 1. That's what this is called. And you can change its color to match the color that you have picked for the cube. Okay? All right. So that is subtractive modeling.